everyone, welcome in. Ever look at a massive cargo ship or a crane lifting a wind turbine and thought, how on earth did they get that there?
It's incredible, isn't it?
It really is, and that's what we're diving into today. The world of machinery, industrial equipment, ships, and aircraft distribution managers.
We're talking about a career that's all about orchestrating the movement of these colossal pieces of equipment, making sure they get where they need to be.
When they need to be there.
Exactly. And all while navigating, the complexities of global supply chains.
And trust me, there are complexities. You've sent us some great stuff from RoleCatcher.
Oh, it's a great resource.
It really is.
Yeah.
A career platform that's packed with insights about this field. We're going to unpack all of that for you from the nitty-gritty of the job.
On a day-to-day.
Yeah. To surprising skills you might already have that could be valuable in this field.
One of the things that stands out to me from the RoleCatcher guide is that it's not just about moving big stuff.
Right.
It's about having a deep understanding of logistics, regulations, and even anticipating future trends.
Yeah.
It's a career that requires both a strategic mind and a knack for solving complex problems.
It's giving me air traffic controller for giant machinery vibes.
That's a good way to put it.
But let's get specific. Imagine you're coordinating the shipment of a massive wind turbine from Germany to the U.S.
Okay, so you'd be responsible for everything, from selecting the right type of ship.
Oh, wow. So that's a whole thing.
Oh, yeah. To navigating international shipping lanes, ensuring the turbine is properly secured for transport, dealing with customs regulations in both countries, and then coordinating with teams on both sides of the Atlantic.
Wow.
And that's just one example.
Wow. Talk about a logistical jigsaw puzzle.
It can be.
It's definitely not a job for the faint of heart. I bet the RoleCatcher guide mentions some of the challenges of the job, right?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Long hours, high stress levels.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And definitely time away from family are realities in this line of work.
Yeah.
It's not all smooth sailing, so to speak.
Right.
But with those challenges come incredible rewards,
Okay.
high earning potential, the chance to travel the globe, and the satisfaction of knowing you're playing a crucial role in building the world's infrastructure.
Okay. That's a trade-off I could see the appeal of. But let's say someone's hearing this and thinking, sign me up.
Sure.
What kind of education or experience do they need to even get their foot in the door?
That's where things get really interesting. While an engineering background is definitely one path, RoleCatcher highlights a surprising range of educational backgrounds leading to success in this field.
Okay.
We're seeing people with degrees in logistics, supply chain management, even international business thrive in these roles.
So it's less about the specific degree and more about the skills and aptitude you bring to the table.
I think so, yeah. Strong analytical skills, a knack for problem solving, and the ability to think on your feet are just as crucial as technical knowledge. And let's not forget about the importance of communication and teamwork. You'll be working with a diverse group of people from all over the world.
It sounds like this career path really does attract a diverse group of people, which is fantastic. But what about concrete skills? What should someone highlight on their resume, for instance,
Okay, sure.
if they want to impress a potential employer in this field?
Well, first and foremost, they need to showcase those core skills. Analytical thinking, problem solving, and communication. But they should also delve into specifics.
Like what?
For example, familiarity with industry standard logistics software, experience with import-export regulations, even knowledge of different types of cargo handling equipment could give them a competitive edge.
I see what you mean about getting specific. It's not just about saying you're organized. It's about being able to say, I've used XYZ software to optimize shipping routes and saved my previous company X amount of money.
Right.
That's what makes an impact.
Precisely. And don't underestimate the power of highlighting those soft skills we talked about.
Yeah.
Being able to demonstrate adaptability, cultural sensitivity, and a knack for building relationships across different cultures are incredibly valuable in this globalized world.
For sure. Okay, so we've established that this career path is not for the easily phased.
Right.
It's fast-paced, it's global, and it involves juggling a lot of moving parts, literally.
Yeah, it definitely keeps you on your toes.
But let's say someone is ready to dive into this world.
Okay.
What does that journey actually look like, from entry level to top dog?
Well, the RoleCatcher guide actually does a great job of breaking down that career ladder. And I think it's encouraging because it shows there's not just one single path to the top.
Right.
You can start at the ground level, even with internships or entry-level roles, and work your way up.
So less born leader and more skills honed through experience.
Exactly. for sure. Let's imagine someone just starting out, maybe as a distribution assistant.
Okay.
They might be assisting with inventory management,
Mm-hmm.
making sure shipping documents are accurate, and learning the ropes of a specific software.
Which one are we talking about? Like,
CargoWise 1, which
oh,
is widely used in the industry.
so that's where those software skills come into play right away. I can see how someone might not be negotiating international shipping contracts on day one, but
Mhm.
even those seemingly small tasks are building blocks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They are. And that experience lays the foundation for the next step, which might be a distribution coordinator role.
Okay.
Now, they're taking on more responsibility, analyzing sales data to anticipate demand,
Okay.
maybe even suggesting ways to optimize those routes for cost or efficiency.
Mm,
They're also likely dealing with more suppliers and internal stakeholders,
sure.
which sharpens those communication and negotiation skills.
It's like each step on the ladder requires you to use the skills from the previous step,
Yeah.
but at a higher level with greater complexity.
Yeah.
You're constantly leveling up.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And as you continue to level up, you might find yourself in a supervisory role, overseeing a team of coordinators, ensuring safety protocols are followed, and becoming a go-to expert on certain types of equipment or shipping routes.
Okay, so you've climbed the ranks, you're managing a team, things are getting pretty serious. What are some of the key leadership qualities that really set apart a successful distribution supervisor in this field?
I think that's where those soft skills become even more critical.
Yeah,
You're not just managing logistics anymore.
right.
You're managing people.
Mm,
Being able to motivate your team, delegate effectively, and resolve conflicts constructively is essential.
mm.
You also need to be able to make tough decisions under pressure and be adaptable when unexpected challenges arise.
Which, let's be honest, in this field probably happens almost daily. It's a
Hmm.
career that demands you stay calm amidst the chaos.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And for those who thrive in that environment and have a knack for strategic thinking, the ultimate goal might be to become a distribution manager. At that level, you're responsible for the big picture, setting long-term goals for the department, optimizing resources,
Mhm.
and staying ahead of industry trends.
I'd imagine staying ahead of trends is huge,
Oh, it's essential.
especially with automation and AI becoming more prevalent in logistics.
Huge.
What are some of the cutting-edge technologies that are changing the game in this field, and how can someone aspiring to be a distribution manager stay ahead of the curve?
That's a great question. And it highlights how crucial continuous learning is in this career. One area that I think is really fascinating is predictive analytics.
Okay.
We're seeing companies use AI and machine learning to analyze vast amounts of data to forecast demand, optimize shipping routes, and even predict potential disruptions before they occur.
So it's not just about reacting to problems anymore, but actually anticipating them before they even arise.
That's the idea.
That's next level stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of resources or learning opportunities would you recommend for someone who wants to master those skills?
Thankfully, there are tons.
Okay, good.
Industry publications like the Journal of Commerce and Supply Chain Management Review are great for staying updated on trends and best practices.
Okay.
Organizations like the Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals, CSCMP,
Mm-hmm.
offer certifications that are highly valued in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, online learning platforms like Coursera and edX offer specialized courses in areas like supply chain analytics and AI for logistics.
It's a lot to take in, but it's also exciting. Knowing that there's always something new to learn can keep things interesting, especially in a field that's constantly evolving. But let's get back to those interviews for a moment.
Okay, sure.
We talked earlier about showcasing specific skills and experiences on your resume.
Right.
What about once you're actually in the interview hot seat?
Yeah.
How can you really impress a potential employer in this field? I think it's easy to get caught up in the technical aspects,
Yeah.
like knowing the ins and outs of a specific software or
Right.
being able to recite shipping regulations. But what about those less tangible qualities that make someone a truly exceptional distribution manager? What have you observed in your experience?
Well, I think you're hitting on something crucial there.
Yeah.
Beyond the technical expertise, it's often those intangible qualities that make the difference between a good manager and a great one.
Okay.
I'm talking about things like resilience,
Like what?
the ability to bounce back from setbacks,
Right.
which in this field are inevitable.
Yeah.
It's about having that calm under pressure demeanor we talked about, being decisive even when facing uncertainty.
So not someone who panics when the cargo ship hits a metaphorical or literal storm.
Exactly. It's about having a cool head and being able to think strategically even amidst chaos. And I'd add that a strong ethical compass is incredibly important,
Yeah, that makes sense.
especially when you're dealing with global supply chains
Right.
and potentially navigating complex regulations.
That makes sense. You're often operating in a gray area where the lines can be blurred. So having that strong ethical foundation to guide your decisions is essential.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the human element. A
Right.
great distribution manager is also a great communicator,
Right.
someone who can build trust and rapport with their team, their suppliers,
Sure.
and their clients.
Yeah.
That ability to bridge cultural differences and navigate interpersonal dynamics effectively is invaluable.
It's like being a diplomat as much as a logistics expert.
It's true.
So much of this career is about building relationships and finding common ground, even when dealing with people from very different backgrounds and cultures.
Yeah, absolutely. And that brings us back to the interview process.
Okay.
When you're interviewing for a role in this field, it's not just about showcasing your technical skills and experience.
Right.
It's about conveying those intangible qualities,
Okay.
your resilience, your ethics, your communication style.
So how do you actually do that? How do you demonstrate something like resilience in an interview setting?
Well, I think it's all about how you tell your stories. Instead of just listing your accomplishments, focus on the challenges you faced, the setbacks you overcame, the lessons you learned along the way.
Oh.
For example, instead of saying, I'm great at problem solving, you could say, in my previous role, we faced a major shipping delay due to unforeseen weather conditions.
Oh, no.
Here's how I quickly pivoted, coordinated with our suppliers, and found an alternative shipping route to minimize the disruption.
So it's about showing, not telling. Instead of just saying you possess these qualities,
Right.
you're weaving them into your experiences and letting your actions speak for themselves.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to be specific.
Yeah.
Use data, use numbers, use real-world examples to back up your claims.
Right.
Instead of just saying you saved the company money, quantify it.
Okay.
Instead of just saying you improved efficiency, explain how you measured that improvement.
That's where those concrete details can make all the difference.
Yeah.
It's one thing to say you're a results-oriented individual.
For sure.
It's another to say, I implemented a new tracking system that reduced shipping errors by 15%.
Exactly.
Those are the kinds of statements that make an interviewer sit up and take notice.
I couldn't agree more. And finally, don't underestimate the power of asking thoughtful questions at the end of your interview.
Right.
It shows you're genuinely curious about the role, the company, and the industry.
Yeah.
It also allows you to gather information that can help you determine if this is the right fit for you.
That's such an important reminder. It's easy to get caught up in the pressure of trying to impress the interviewer.
Right.
But an interview is a two-way street.
It is.
It's just as much about you assessing them as it is about them assessing you.
Precisely. It's about finding that win-win scenario
Yeah.
where your skills and interests align with the needs and values of the organization.
It's like that logistical jigsaw puzzle we talked about earlier.
Exactly.
But this time, you're fitting together the pieces of your career path.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
And just like with that puzzle, finding the right fit takes time, patience, and a willingness to embrace the journey.
You've given us so much to think about today.
It's been my pleasure.
We've gone from marveling at massive machinery to unraveling the complexities of global supply chains.
It's a fascinating field.
It is. And finally, to reflecting on the human elements that make this career path so rewarding.
It really is. It's been a fascinating deep dive, and I hope our listener feels equipped with a deeper understanding of what it takes to succeed in this dynamic and ever-evolving field.
I'm confident they do. To our listener, if you're ready to explore the world of machinery, industrial equipment, ships, and aircraft distribution management, remember, it's not just about moving mountains of metal.
That's right.
It's about using your skills, your knowledge, and your passion to connect the world piece by piece.
Well said.
That's it for today's deep dive, everyone. Thanks for joining us.